Monty at some point and started covering for him basically during conversation when he would slip up.
I am so sorry, but my desktop audio was down. Would you like to restart?
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Codex Legendarium. Happy Sunday. We are back. We return. Channel announcements. We have... what was that? Oh, yeah. We used to have a link tree. Now we don't anymore because they support NFTs, and we're not about that. So we're looking for an alternative. Until then, you can find our chats on our socials, or our links on our socials, such as Twitter, and other places. I think the bot in the chat will also be posting them. Sorry about the sound mix-up, everybody. Recap. So last week, everyone landed on the port, and they discovered that they ran into an old woman. That old woman, apparently, they discovered later. Big fan of fantasy and adventure. She is like an in-universe Lord of the Rings fan. And saw the party walking around looking like a LARP group, but where that's not a thing, and was basically just like, I think these might be adventurers. So she was fascinated by all of you. Then it was discovered by Monty that she was in fact his mother's political trainer, the woman who taught his mother pretty much everything about how to be a politician, of which apparently Monty's mother was an excellent politician. You all dined with her, sat down at a cafe, and just kind of like had drinks. At which point it was revealed that she at some point in there figured out who Monty was, recognized him, and was not only cool with it, but like started covering for him and like helped like steer him in the right direction in terms of conversation and like his cover story. And then basically found out what you guys were there to do, and was pretty much like, I'm down for it. Go ahead and kill that dude. And then invited you all to stay at her manor, mostly because you were going to have trouble getting into Dieter von Stark's parties, but she, as a well-respected noblewoman of the Isles, is fully capable of inviting foreign guests. So she's basically just like, yeah, I'll sponsor all of you, and you can actually come to the parties. So she invited you to stay at her house as guests. You all went to do that. In the meantime, before that, Monty ran to a pet store and bought exotic pets for everybody. We have Yule got a monkey named. He was originally named Spud. Did you change his name, or did you keep it as Spud?
I had to. Yule has to think on it. Yule has to bond with this animal and decide if it really is a Spud.
I see. So we've got Spud is the current default, but not necessarily. We've got Princess got a ball python named Lila. Monty got himself a Komodo dragon, which he named Oscar after his father. Tedros was given a parakeet, which he then immediately gave to Cadence, who went off down south to go back home to talk to some people. And I know that Viktoria got a cat. What did Viktoria actually end up naming? What is the cat's name again?
We gave the cat a traditional Aeorian naming ceremony.
That's right. And
the cat's name, the full name, is Do You Want Advice, or Do You Want to Vent of the 5-Starred Chalice, or Do for short?
Do.
Do spelled D-O-Y.
Let's type that all in. Doy for short.
Do for short.
Spelled doy.
It's pronounced do.
Yes. But I'm gonna read it as doy. Yeah, everybody got pets. Took a boat back to Lady Stanway's estate, where you all got kind of set up with rooms. She sat you down in her library and just kind of like talked some stuff out with you, figured some more things out, talked to Monty. And then basically was like, yeah, I can invite your mom over and you can just like actually see your mother. And he was like, at first he was like, I don't know. But then he was like, no, yeah, I'd like that. So that is, and then y'all went to bed. So we begin with you all waking up in the morning in a noble estate. Over the past number of weeks, you have slept on cots or hammocks in a flying ship, piles of furs in circular kind of like nest beds, on the ground, in ruins, and on ships, and just generally camping. This is the first night in a while. This is the first night in a while, or first night in general for maybe some of you. You've slept in a bed this nice. It is a very, very cozy, very nice feather bed with like high thread count sheets and nice fluffy pillows. So for like Viktoria, this is back to normal. This is like, this is what sleeping in a bed feels like. For Yulyanya, this is sleeping on a cloud. For Tedros, probably more closer to home, but maybe not at quite as nice, but still closer. And then Princess, we'll find out. So you all wake up and find yourself in this very nice estate. So would anyone anyone have anything they'd like to do, or anything in particular in the morning as you all wake up?
Tedros is going to head back to. He's going to get up early and head back to the ship just to make sure everything is still in place, nothing's been tampered with, so on and so forth.
So to get back to the ship, it's actually quite a walk. You're on kind of the opposite side of town from it, so if you want to get back before everybody else, you're gonna have to get up at like the crack of dawn to do that.
Yep.
So you're gonna get a really good, nice view of the town and everything, and you kind of also have to. You can probably ask some of the people, like the cook is up in the morning, getting ready for breakfast and everything. There's people around in the house, like people who work there, so you can ask them for directions, because since you came in on a boat and you're trying to walk back, it is a different route to get there, but you can manage. It is a lovely walk, honestly. One of the things I didn't pull up was the map of the city. But it's a lovely walk as you are making your way through this district. And as you remember, it takes you a minute to remember this fact, actually. As you're walking along, you eventually get to there's only one bridge that leads out of East Bridge, which is the district you're in, connecting it to downtown. And it's you kind of remember as you get to it that this entire district is elevated by 20 feet above the rest of everything else. Because as you get to the bridge, you can see the drop off, but like within the district itself, it's very difficult to see because like everything is level within the district. It's only once you get to the very edge that there's that 20-foot drop off. And the bridge, very long bridge across this river, like is higher at one end than the other as it kind of slopes down to the level of downtown. And you can see like armed and armored, just guards basically. They look mostly ceremonial, and they don't look necessarily like on alert, but they do hang out on the side of the bridge right at the entrance to East Bridge, and they acknowledge you as you walk out and leave, and then you make your way into downtown, where you're told that once you were told by the people like at the house that once you got into downtown, you have two options. You can either try and navigate the bridges, like the haphazard network of bridges to get you to the docks, or you can just like pay a little bit of money to one of the gondoliers you can find and tell them where you want to go, and they will just taxi you right there.
I think Tedros will take the opportunity to try and familiarize himself with the city, and he will I think at least coming across the bridge, he could probably spot the Silver Maw. Or does he at least have an idea of where it might be?
You have an idea, yeah. Like you can tell the direction of the port from here, but since everything is so flat and there's so many buildings, like the bridge doesn't get you quite up high enough to see all the way to the port, because it's still like maybe a half to a 3/4 mile walk from the bridge to the port. Yeah. So it's a long walk, but yeah, you can make your way over there.
he'll take this long and scenic route, and as long as he knows just a general direction, he's like, okay, I know I need to either go like north or east or whatever, and just, am I going in that direction? No, I can't. Turn back that way.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. You're going in a southwest direction, so it's very much like you can walk along, but eventually you just like hit canal. Is the biggest thing, and then you just kind of have to follow the edge of the canal until you find a bridge that takes you in the direction you're trying to go, and then just kind of repeat that as you make your way along these like canal separated little islands. So there's a lot of doubling back and looping around and like following the edges of the water until you can eventually make your way out to the port, and you kind of end up further down the coast than you originally started, so you have to work your way along, but you can eventually find your way over to where you left the Silver Pawn. See that it is still docked there, where you left it.
He will get on board and check on some things and just make sure the things that are supposed to be locked up are still locked up and nothing's been messed with.
Yeah, looks totally unbothered as you get on board the ship.
And then he will, if he wasn't easily able to see it before, he will go hunting for a cat.
For a cat?
Yeah.
Oh, the cat on the ship? Make me a perception or investigation check.
I will. Okay, we gotta do something about that. That's fine. We'll work on that. I like that. That's a 22.
Okay. Yeah, you can find the cat pretty easily, like hiding underneath one of the like in the galley. There's like bench seats in front of the tables, and the cat is like up on one of the benches under the table, just kind of like wedged in a spot where she can see out from under there, but is like kind of like sheltered in a little cave.
Hey, how you doing? You okay? You all right in this big ship by yourself?
Out of you.
You want something to eat? You probably want something to eat. Tedros will grab some. He'll grab some like dried meat or something and feed the cat.
Okay. For feeding the cat, do you like try to hold it out to it, or do you like just try and leave it somewhere?
Well, he'll hold it out.
Okay. Animal handling check.
Fantastic. Hey, that's actually not a terrible number. Oh shit, that's wisdom. Okay, that makes sense. That is an 18.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and like kneel down and hold out a little bit of food, and then just like you come in, you know how to like make your posture and your like your movements non-threatening and like slow enough, and just generally like how to appear as not a threat as you like make your way up and hold out the food, and then the cat just like starts just quietly just like munching on whatever you hold out.
All right, and he'll go for scritchies, and then say, all right, you got the run of the place while I'm gone. Make sure that nobody steals anything. Got it? Otherwise, I'll dock you. Glad we had this conversation, and he will depart.
Okay.
But he will make sure that he collects his notes with him, and prototype and stuff, which he didn't take the first time.
Okay.
And then he will make his way on back.
Okay. Making your way back is definitely easier. Kind of moving in that northwest direction, you get a general sense of like where those bridges are now. And yeah, you eventually get back to the bridge, and like as you get to the other, like the higher end of the bridge, you can definitely see those guards just like slight shift in posture as they move, like they see someone coming towards the bridge, and there's like a slight shift in posture as though they moved, like they're ready to step in your way, but then they see you and like recognize you as someone who just left earlier in the morning, and then they just kind of like relax and nod at you as you pass.
Give them a nod, and continue on my way.
All right. And you can pretty easily find your way back to the house again, just about while everyone else is waking up. You enter in the front door to the smell of cooking breakfast from the kitchens. Everybody else is maybe waking up, depending on how late they're sleeping in.
Yulyanya didn't stay up all night, but stayed up pretty late into the night and then fell asleep and then woke up kind of early and continued just reading voraciously The Adventures of Cainro.
Ah, I see. Yeah, so The Adventures of Cainro are... So Yulyanya probably wouldn't pick up on this, but very exaggerated at this point. They're 100 years out, and they are very sensationalized and fictionalized and, like, you know, made to be entertaining, but, like, there's probably still some amount of truth there. You definitely get to about halfway, or no, you wouldn't actually. I was gonna say you would get to the story. The story that you heard in Sveruk is actually not featured in this book, and you would know the reason for that is because shortly after that story is when he went up the mountain and tried to deal with the witch and got captured. So that story never left Sveruk. It starts off with like tales of how, like, oh, he was a magical prodigy by the time he was 6, and he went to the university, but by the time he got to his first class, he already knew more than the headmaster professor did.
He's Harry freaking Potter.
No, like capable. Like, you know, as you're kind of reading through it, there is some sort of element of like, oh, he sounds more like us in terms of his relationship with magic.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like if one of you tried going to the university, like, yeah, there's not a lot they could teach him. So like he stays there for a little while. There's some stories about him, like, you know, making not enemies, but just kind of like getting friction with the professors and staff and stuff, and like, you know, performing miracles when he's supposed to be, like, you know, raising the temperature on a cup of water. Before he eventually like sets out and leaves to go and like see what wonders the world can offer him and learn from the school of experience rather than the university. And like starts off with stories of him. It starts kind of just like with like wandering adventurer type stories, like comes into a town had a problem with this thing and he dealt with it with tact and intelligence and powerful magics, and this is where it gets like very folktale-esque, where like you're not, I mean, again, to Yulyanya, like all of this
she's taking it all in and believing every word.
Exactly, yeah. But it is very, very fairy tale, very folk tale in all of it. Stuff like, and there's like straight up like some of the stories are a little bit more concrete, about like harassing a town, and he went up to it and he spoke with it and he tried to reason with it, but when the troll would not be reasoned with and leave, you know, and stop charging a toll at the bridge, he like circumvented it by using magic to create a new bridge further down that the people could use, and then when the troll got angry and tried to destroy it, he struck the troll down with fire and lightning. All the way up to like much more fantastical stories about him. Like there's a weird story about like him traveling like deep into the wilderness and like meeting with like the living embodiment of thunderstorms themselves, and like debating with the storm, and like as it responded with thunder, he used his magic to respond in kind and shouted down the storm itself, and like because of that the harvest was especially prosperous in a region for a while. It's like stuff like that, where it's like he's used as like a folktale explanation for like weather phenomenon, as opposed like mixed in with like stories that may have actually happened or just exaggerated.
Yulyanya's seeing it. She's like, "Ooh, I want to do that."
Yulyanya's like, I mean, we've done weirder stuff. That could be possible.
She's planning on how to shout at the thunderstorms.
So yeah, okay, so that's Yulyanya's morning.
Yeah, she just keeps reading that until like she has a reason to leave her room. She's just like entranced.
Okay, you probably get the smell of like cooking breakfast coming from downstairs, just like sneaking in under the door.
She realizes she's hungry.
Okay, Princess and Viktoria, anything special for the morning?
Yeah, Princess probably did not sleep in today. Would have got up a little bit earlier and gone down to the kitchen to find like the servant class of people. And she would look around and be like, do you know where there, I'm sure there's many taverns and places of that nature in the downtown area. Do you know any places that sailors would find themselves in?
Sailors? Well, probably the best bet would be finding anything closest to the docks. I mean, most, probably half the people in downtown are sailors in one way, shape, or form. So you're looking for them. Downtown be the best place to go. Though if you hop on a ferry and take it further to the west, out to the shipping district, you'd probably find more. Well, downtown sailors would be a kind of a mix, local and foreign, but the shipping district probably where you go to find sailors from all over.
And how far would that trip be?
Oh, not too far if you hop on a ferry, and it'll just take you right across the bay.
Would that be something that like I'd be back like around lunch if I left now, or no, it's not that kind of?
Certainly could be, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for your help. Yes, thank you. Now that leaves me a choice. Shipping district on myself. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, Princess would head out. Princess would leave a note with someone. I'll be back. Yeah, basically, like very vague. Like I'll be back, promise. Princess with a heart over the eye, and then we'll make her way out. And try to find a ferry over to the shipping district.
Okay. Not too hard to find one. You can leave that message like with the cook, basically, like with the servants in the kitchen, so they can like let everybody know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find your way over, and there's like a pretty good like basically public transportation system of ferries running like buses pretty much back and forth across the bay. You do have to go pretty much into downtown to get to them, though, because pretty much everyone who lives up here is taking private transportation. Like, no one who lives in this district is being caught dead taking public transportation. So, I mean, lives in. There's a difference.
Okay.
But yeah, you can make your way like across the bridge and down and find your way to a ferry, and it's like a silver piece for the trip.
Yeah. Here you go. Great. Yeah, when after get across the bridge to the shipping district. Damn. What is it? What does this place like look like? Like,
yeah, so you take the ferry kind of like down the river, and then like there's let me actually pin the map here in Discord so you can see it easier.
My apologies.
So the shipping district, I just pinned it. Shipping district is the district with like the brown rooftops on the left.
Okay.
And the district on the far right with the green rooftops is where you're coming from. So you kind of have to go like south down this river and then across the bay that like downtown wraps around. to the sort of chain of islands separated off from the majority of Titan's Grave. And this is basically a whole lot of warehouses. This is the not industrial district, but like it's the shipping district. It's where like products are brought. It's like the western side of all the islands is where like things come and go from ships like coming and going from outside Titan's Grave. And then the eastern side of this chain of islands is like smaller barges and like short range boats that like are taking the stuff to and from the cities. This is kind of like, it's kind of like one big commercial harbor is like all these.
All right. So basically what Princess, I guess, is going to do to like run through this, at least what the conceptualized idea, it's going to work backwards. So Princess is going to cast disguise self on her person and kind of like look like a kind of like a sailor. She's like, I don't know what a sailor looks like. She kind of looks like Monty, but like older, like an older version of Monty, with a longer beard, and obviously her height, because disguise self doesn't do that much in terms of inches. So that's the first thing she's gonna do, and she's going to like go out and try to scout like places, like a boat that may have touched down in Avelia or gotten close to Avelia, and try to find any boat or like shipping or people who would know about that. I don't know what I have to, what the role for that would be, like investigation or
yeah, so like this is one of those ones where y'all know I really love to mix up the skills and the stat that goes with them. So this is one of those. This is going to be investigation with charisma.
Okay, excellent.
So roll charisma. If you're proficient in investigation, you can add your proficiency modifier.
Okay, am I proficient in investigation? I don't think so.
So just charisma.
Yeah. Okay.
Because 5th edition took out the gather information skill.
Okay. The charisma's pretty good. That is 17.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely find out some information, like asking around, find your way over to some group of sailors that have made their way up in that direction. You don't actually. So you don't hear about any that have been to Avelia specifically. You do hear about one that has been to Cardwin.
Ah, okay. All right. Can I I guess I was like, oh, what's me putting on like an old man voice? What's the climate like in Cardwin? I haven't been there in a while.
Oh, like weather type climate and temperate, but
I know last time I went there, it's always dark and gloomy there, but that never changes about Cardwin.
Terrible weather.
But yeah, terrible weather. I'm talking about the people and what's the movements and shakings, and how often you guys go to Cardwin thereabouts.
Oh, yeah. Try to avoid it if we can. It's a profitable place to go, but like you said, just it's always gloomy, and the people always match the weather. So always gave me the heebie-jeebies. But it's becoming more profitable lately. They've recently struck up a deal with Avelia over to their east, where Cardwin's handling all of their coastal needs, all their shipping. Any ships that want to go in and out of Avelia go through Cardwin now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I know that the royal family of theirs, they've been recluse kind of like for a few years. Yeah, so that would make sense,
Yeah, it seems, they kind of what the people told me there is just Avelia is a bunch of recluses and they don't want to talk to people. They don't want to deal with people. Cardwin's happy for the business. So, it just gives them Cardwin helps them keep their privacy. So you have to go through them like a buffer. And of course, I suppose Cardwin enjoys it because they get all the business and the money and things like that from the ship's docking and the goods coming through. So I guess it benefits both parties.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah. Yeah, I just have I know some people up in Carwood, so it's been a while since then. So I was checking in. Yeah, thank you. I've been looking for a place to get a drink. And I'm probably not over here, but like, where do you guys usually go? And like,
Well, we don't really get into the city too much. We pretty much stay out here. They Titan's Grave pretty well partitions us us foreign sailors over to this side, which I guess makes sense for their business. It keeps things moving pretty consistently. They don't have any mixed traffic running into each other. They can keep us dumping off all our goods in these warehouses and handle all our business here, and then they just cart them out the other side, so they don't have to worry about managing ships and things on the inside. Probably, if you ask me, I think they're paranoid too, because that way they keep any foreign vessels outside their little bay where that fort can get to them.
Yeah. That makes sense too. That's interesting. Oh, dude, so you guys there's no place to sleep here? Like, is there?
I would just stay on our ships.
Just stay on your ship. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna be a little rebel, I guess, and sneak back over to the other side. I've been on my ship for too long.
Oh no sneaking necessary. I mean, it's just
yeah.
This is where the cargo ships dock, so it's just a little bit of a pain, an extra little half-day trip to, well, not even half-day trip, but little bit of an extra trip just to sail around and dock over at the downtown district.
Yeah. And Princess is like, okay, now we have entered small talk as in my disguise self form, and I hate small talk in my regular form. You're like, yeah, you're like, do the little like, I'm getting out of this. See, it was nice talking to you. And like,
I should go.
Yeah. I should go. Thank you. And kind of, I guess like fuck off. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Now that does not. Damn. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then after that, Princess is gonna go back across the ferry, and at this point, she is going to find a bar, and she is going to do her usual thing, not ask before she starts playing. But yeah, starts playing in a tavern. She's gonna find one that looks kind of like busy-ish for like brunch. I think it's like brunch time now. Yeah. Busy is for brunch time now, and start playing, and just kind of like while she's playing, do her usual thing of like keeping her ears and eyes open for anything interesting, things that would interest her and things that would interest Monty.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check and then a perception check.
Performance. Okay, when am I adding performance? I should open this, have this up all big and stuff. Performance, that's +5, so that's a 18 for performance.
Okay.
They've won her new violin. And what was the next thing that I'm doing?
Perception, to listen in on the conversations.
Perception is also, that is dirty 20.
Ooh, okay. So performance goes well. You're gonna end up with 15 silver pieces, which is a gold piece and a half. Which more than pays for your ferry rides.
Wait, what did you say it was?
15 silver.
15 silver.
Which is about a gold piece and a half.
Okay.
But what you're actually there for, news. So let's see. You can hear you hear some. Dieter von Stark is the talk of the town right now.
Yeah.
With a lot of stuff. So you can hear a few things about him. You can hear about like his opulent parties and soirees and everything that he's holding out on his estate, which you'll find this is probably something that you guys would have found out anyway, but like you can find out from this, his estate is not actually in the district where Lady Stanway's estate is. His estate is actually out on its own island, a little farther out to sea. So he's got a little bit more privacy out there. He has hired a lot of entertainment, a lot of performers, both foreign and domestic, who have been brought in to keep guests entertained round the clock. A little bit about him, just like his interests. One of the bits of gossip that comes up about people, like as they're talking about him, is that his current favorite like hobby, I guess is what kind of like you would call it, is he's known as an explorer, which, like, as the sailors talk about it, explorer in terms of rich people is like go get drunk in a tent like somewhere else while other people carry your bags and, like, you know, chop through the bushes for you.
Bougie camping, got it.
Yeah, exactly. But he does it up on the mainland, which, from what you understand, the mainland is a dangerous place because there's only one, from what Monty was telling you guys, there's only one settlement actually on the mainland because it is incredibly inhospitable. Aside from that, let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else you would hear about. No, it seems like the majority of the conversation is regarding that. This is like recent and new, and then there was that newsletter about him recently, so he is like the thing to talk about right now.
Excellent. Okay. And this just looks like regular sailors. This doesn't look like Navy, or is there like Navy?
A little mostly regular sailors with a few recognizable Navy uniforms in there.
Yeah, no one important though, right?
No, doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, okay, noted. Princess gonna be like, okay, that's sufficient enough, and Princess will, you know, back up her violin, wink at whoever owns the establishment, and leave and go back to oh my goodness, her name, Lady Stanway.
Yes.
Lady Stanway's estate.
Okay. Similar thing with Tedros, where like when you go back across the bridge, the guards, like, there's a little bit of a slight change in posture, like they're preparing to get in your way, but then they recognize you from having left it earlier in the morning, and then they just like stay out of your way and nod as you go past.
Yes. Yeah, Princess was like, hello, thank you, gentlemen, for doing such an excellent job. I'm Princess for the next time I pass by. Thank you. Bye. And then just introduce herself. That entire everything about that seems like exactly what they're used to. They're just like, yep. That's that goes in. Yep, they have, like, you know, respectful inclination of the head. Okay, you head back. So that's like your entire morning. Viktoria, anything for you as you're getting up?
Savoring an actual bed. Probably would try and like track down like a bathhouse or something just to freshen up.
You don't even need a bathhouse. This is Lady Stanway is rich as hell. You can get a bath in the house.
Love that. That's where she's spending her morning because she is getting freshened up for this party.
Yeah, so we think we got a very strong relationship with water in this place, and she is an old woman. Yeah, so she has they can tell you that you can either be offered a, like, you know, they can fill up like a clawfoot tub basically in like a bathroom, or alternatively she does have a like constantly heated like bathhouse style almost like bath and steam room combo on, like, tucked away in the back of the first floor.
The clawfoot tub sounds right up Victoria's alley.
Okay. Yeah, so like servants will come up with like buckets of water and fill it up like pretty quickly, and like a bucket brigade, and get it set up. There's like, it has one of those like brass trays that sets up like on either side of it, like, and can slide back and forth, so you could like have like you could take breakfast in the tub if you wanted.
Nah, I won't. We can't indulge too much. Can't get used to this.
She probably uses it to read in the tub.
That's so smart. That's so smart. Unfortunately, I can't read, so.
There's like very nice soaps and oils and perfumes and just nice things to make having a bed just a wonderful bathing experience.
I'm going to smell everything.
It all smells lovely.
Is there any that have like more of a, earthy tones? Like.
Oh yeah. This is the well curated. This is the well curated like bathing supplies of a woman who has been living in high society for her entire life. Like she
I
has.
wasn't just sure if she was like a floral kind of gal, if she was like more of a fresh scent, what she is.
She has guests. Like you get the sense she has guests constantly, and like he's always invited because of all those, like you saw those paintings on the first floor of like all of her mentees from over the years. Like she is ready to entertain, so she has the full range of scents available for whatever you possibly need.
Okay, we're gonna go for like more of like an earthy scent.
Okay, you can get like the exact scent down that you want.
Perfect. And then I will just enjoy this little sliver of taste of being back home.
Okay.
In Aor before going to breakfast.
Okay.
If anyone else is there.
Yulyanya probably, or Yulyanya and Tedros probably make their way to breakfast. At some point, you would all probably spot Monty, like going into a private study, and then like after you like hear a couple doors close, and then like Lady Stanway would be like stepping out and closing the door as he goes in there with somebody, presumably his mom, and they like have their private time, so you all can just kind of like hang out while they do that and leave them alone. Yeah, so then she'll come down to breakfast and meet up with all of you and just, so are you all enjoying your stay so far? Is it all to your liking?
Very, very much. Yeah.
Fantastic. That is what I like to hear. So, I understand we're going to need to find all of you some nice new clothes.
Oh, just them. I have clothes from Aor that I was planning on wearing.
Yes, I definitely need new clothes to wear to these events.
Yeah, that goes for me too.
Absolutely doable. She turns to Viktoria again for a second and just says, do you need any accessories or anything, or your time on the road need anything patched up?
To be honest, I have not pulled it out in quite some time, so I would have to look at it again. But, there might be some seams that need redone or something like that. Accessories shined up.
Certainly can be done.
What about Princess? Where is she?
As you're all eating, the cook comes over, who's just like a balding man with a very large mustache. Comes over and says, she said that she would be stepping out for the morning and going about some sort of business in town. She said she would be back by lunch.
Okay, that makes sense. But I know she needs new clothes too.
Well, perhaps we should wait until she returns around lunchtime, eat lunch, and then I can direct you to a wonderful tailor, seamstress, clothier in town.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Happy to take care of my guests.
Actually, I think she mentioned something. Scribble some stuff down. I'll be right back. And Tedros will kind of slip out from the main room and head back to the room inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
And very quickly he will use sending. He's getting that tested out. And he will say, it's Tedros. You can respond. Do you need any clothes for the events to come?
Yes, I will need that. I would I be on my way back at this point, or I was still like in the middle of like?
This is probably while you're like on the ferry on your way back to the to that tavern.
Just like me being like, oh yes, Tedros said I have to come back, but I'm gonna be going out to a tavern. I was like, oh yes, Tedros, do we have to do this now or later? Like, what's the time frame on this?
He will use another sending and say, "Still, Tedros, you can respond. Not urgent. Just wanted to check in."
Excellent, not urgent. I will be there. Looks at the sky for like the time. She doesn't have like a timepiece or anything, and she's like, "I'll be back around lunch still." Yes.
Yeah.
Princess out.
Goodbye. Third level spell slots. And he will head back. He's like, "Yeah, I am sorry. I think she did leave some stuff, but I just can't read my notes. It was just the message got messed up. So we can hang out until she comes back."
No rush, no rush.
That sending is like hi, because I don't my sending this.
Yeah, you got message, which is like
Message,
120 foot range or something like that.
Yeah, which is a pretty decent.
It's good, yeah.
My bad.
Good, you're good.
It's fine.
Well, no rush at all. We can enjoy our morning. I'm sure you've all been traveling for some time and adventuring and all that, so you could probably use the rest. And then once she arrives, I'll send you out on your way, and you can get your clothes set up, bring them back, and then we can put together once Montblanc is done with his meeting. We can form a next plan.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, I imagine that there are a lot of nuances that we have to be aware of here. Maybe we could work on some of those now, so that we aren't embarrassing you or anybody else while we're out there.
That would certainly be appreciated, though at this point in my life, I think that there's a certain charm to honesty and bluntness.
Fair enough.
But if you would like to keep a low profile, as they say, I could certainly help you find ways to blend in.
Well, I, Tedros, would love to be nothing more than a fly on the wall, unnoticed. But I think some of my companions, and he looks over to Viktoria, work better when they shine out in the open. So
perhaps a morning lesson on local customs and niceties, so that you can shine when you like to shine, not stand out when you don't want to.
fantastic. Yes, please. All right.
We can all learn.
Once you finish up eating, come and meet me in the front sitting room, and we can begin.
Sounds good.
So she will finish up her meal and go to get ready for that.
Yul's just stuffing her face.
Okay. Do you all just finish up eating and go meet her for?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can meet her
First.
Mhm.
After finished, we'll go up to my room, pull out the nice clothes, and just deal with that.
Okay.
Getting them fixed up and the accessories all shined up.
Okay.
And then she'll go down to the sitting room.
Okay. Not gonna go over this too much. It's based. She there are social niceties. There are very small things, how to bow properly, the correct terms of address for certain ranks of people. If you don't know, default to this. Like, just all of those little details of social niceties, which are probably varying levels of easy to absorb for the three of you. Like, Viktoria, this is like, you've spent, at least recently, had to do the exact same thing in Aor, so like this kind of thing comes very naturally to you. It's just like, it's just like kind of like you have the space in, like, the spaces in your mind, you're just filling in the blanks almost, about just like, oh, in Aor they do this, here they do this, but it's the same thing. Tedros, somewhere in the middle, probably, based on your background. Like, there is an amount of familiarity with social niceties, just probably not to the like intense and recent degree of Viktoria's. And then Yule, how does
Yule has had training on like how to entertain like wealthy clientele.
That's right. So then probably the hardest thing about this for Yule would probably be the expectation of actually talking, not just like be seen and not heard, stand in the background, let me do the talking.
Yep.
It's like, here's how you should actually engage with people, and you're just like, oh no, I've never done that before.
She's been trying. Dipping her toes in.
Yep. So, okay, yeah. So then, as you're all doing that, is like, Princess, you'll come back in, and you'll like, as you come back in the front door, you'll pass by the other three standing in the front sitting room, like, finishing up their etiquette lessons.
Yeah, Princess will do the thing where she walks by and then sees that they're back in there and go back and goes, whoop, about face. And I'm like, I'm back. What's happening?
Hi, we're learning how to be proper ladies and gentlemen.
Very good. That's excellent. Yeah, I came back because I was told we were going, shopping. Is that still happening?
Yes,
it is. We were just waiting for you whenever you were ready. Did you have a good morning?
Nah, it was a morning. But it was fine. It was nice. It's nice to see the city. Yes.
All right. Well, gather any things that you need, and you can take I will ensure that my boat is ready out front for you. I have a few things I need to take care of myself this morning, but I will send you with a note, and my boatman will take you to where you need to go.
Princess will grab Lila and then be ready to go.
Gonna bring Lila with?
Yeah, Lila.
All right.
Just on her shoulder again.
Okay.
Yule will like go and check on the monkey, like make sure that it has food in its cage.
Okay, you left the monkey in the. Okay, so that's right. You left the monkey in the cage.
The monkey and Yule don't trust each other yet.
Yep. Give me an animal handling check just for like how things were when you left the monkey this morning.
Oh God. It's not great. I got a 4.
Oh boy. Okay. So you come back into your room, and it looks like the cage was just slightly too close to Yulyanya's bag, and the bag has been pulled over to the cage, and all of the contents of Yulyanya's bag look like they've just been thrown across the room. There's just like a spread of everything in the bag just hurled out. Like, the bag itself is like hanging from a corner of like the wardrobe, or like the dresser mirror, like the vanity mirror. It's just like hanging from there. Like, everything else has just been just chucked all over the room.
That's a problem for so many reasons I have yet to disclose. Great. Awesome.
Poppins is
yeah,
hiding under the
Poppins
bed.
is terrified.
Yes. You find you can just like see the little bit of fluff under the bed of Poppins, just like tucked up in like the front corner under the bed, farthest from the monkey cage.
Poppins has no business being out of the bag alone. So she's gonna like go in and scoop Poppins up and put it back in the bag, and then she's gonna clean up a little bit, but like in a fluster and just like making sure that nothing is like broken or anything. And then she's gonna make sure everything is like away from the monkey's cage, and like put this like contents of the things that she needs in the bag back in the bag and take it with her and go.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like definitely a few things have like tiny teeth marks on them. But like the leather straps of the bag and like little buckles probably have some like teeth marks on them from being chewed on. Anything else with like leather or wood has like just got like little tiny teeth marks.
That's not great. Okay. Thank you. Bad luck. I need to pray to the dice gods.
Okay. Everybody else getting ready to go?
I'm so excited to just tag along and just be that person on the couch in the place being like, yes.
Watching the fashion show.
Yeah, ready to go. Born ready.
All right. Yeah, so you can head on out. Lady Stanmay's staying here. She's doing her thing, doing whatever it is she needs to do. Possibly like staying in the house while Monty and his mom are having their meeting, just like being around while that's happening. Yeah, so y'all can head out. Like you walk out the front steps, and yeah, she has like that U-shaped, almost like it would be a driveway if it weren't made of water. Like U-shaped little inlet that kind of cuts through in front of her house, and the boat that you all traveled in yesterday is like ready and waiting and set up, and has like the small team of gondoliers just like standing at their posts and ready, just ready to take you where you need to go. Oh, and like she would have handed one of you on your way out just a note basically to the clothing shop, just basically saying like, put it on my tab. Yes, this is me, signed Lady Stanway. And yeah, you can all hop on the boat and head over.
All right, question for when we're heading over. Is this like, I'm imagining like, because it's courting season and we're right in the middle of it. Like, how much longer of the courting season is like left?
Weeks.
Okay, so we're going to need more than one like fit. I'm assuming. Like,
probably, yeah. I mean, it depends on how many parties you're planning on going to, but like probably like from talking to her, she would basically tell you like multiple would be a good idea. We can always like get more as the occasion demands, especially like once you go to this place once and get like, you know, they take measurements and everything and like start putting things together for you, it'll be much easier to just like order from there at like remote. Just like she can send a note over, just be like, we don't like this for these people, and then they can just like pull up your measurements, make something for you, and then just like have it sent to her house. So you won't really have to do too many later visits if you want other stuff, but this is kind of like a good initial one. But yeah, you can grab as many as you want, but you don't need to like try and get a whole season's worth right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can take the boat, you can head out. You can see as you're making your way along from her as you're making your way along from her house, you like take the lock down, and then you start going the other, like Tedros and Princess, you both of your trips this morning kind of took you more in the southward direction along the river. This one takes you a little bit further north along the river, where you pass by those like big glass, almost greenhouse looking things that you saw from a distance. The Rainshine Gardens, you can see just like you pass by one of them that's like right up against right up against the edge of the island. Huge like 4 or 5 stories tall, just big open wrought iron framing that kind of goes up like basically window, but just like set up like window panes with like almost like the fleur-de-lis kind of like curly with the point in the middle all around it, and then just kind of like slopes up to like big sloped roofs, and the whole thing is made of glass. And then
she's just basking up at it.
looking at it from down here, you can't see too much, but you can see just like bushes and flowers lining the edge and like trees further in. Just like a full indoor park, basically, as you sail past it.
She's gonna turn to the others and be like, "That's where the rich people go to stroll.
I like it.
It's like a garden, but inside."
But why? Why?
Because if you're inside, then you don't have to deal with the outside.
The weather, like that.
Weather, the bugs, the unfavorable situations.
Plus, it's
Like-
really pretty.
And they could keep it year round. Say if it snows here. I don't know if it snows here. But if it snows
It's
here.
warm for that. Like if you're
Well, yeah.
something here, it feels like that's not something that happens here.
Weirder things have happened.
This
So
is-
if it snows.
Can you make it? Can Galina make things snow? Then her like skill set. It's like water.
I feel like if not right now, in the future, maybe.
Always
Uh,
impressive.
You're always interested in my sister?
Anyway, yeah, it's a beautiful building.
Speaking of your sister, I couldn't really say much when we were, with company. But I can reach out to her if I need to.
Good to know. Good to know. I mean, don't. We can do this on our own. We don't really need her in case. But like in life or death emergency, yeah.
Well, I just, just if you were like wondering what was up and stuff like that, like that's doable.
She's her own person. I'm my own person.
Yeah, I know. I just, I don't really have people to, I don't really have a relationship like that. So if I can aid in maintaining the one that you two have, you have my services. And more importantly, if something happens, at least we can sort of keep in touch. Mine is so you know how yours is like kind of subtle-ish and kind of clandestine, but there are like some limits to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's big stuff when I do it, so like I am pretty sure that like wherever you are, I could send you a message like anywhere.
Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. So
Wait, what's good to know? I got distracted by the garden.
sending messages.
You can send them?
Like very, very, very long distances.
Oh. Well, that sounds handy.
Yeah. It's how I checked in with Princess earlier.
Oh, yes, Princess, I thought we were going to have to leave for the shopping trip without you. I didn't know where you went.
But I thought you said that she left you a note.
I can't very well say, hey, I'm gonna go magically contact my friend and see whether or not they need us to do stuff.
I believe it's appropriate from Lady Stanway.
But I mean, you could
That
have
is
also
up to
just
your
been like,
discretion, of course. It is your magic, of course. My apologies.
Here's the thing. There's some ideas that she has about us. And I don't want to disappoint her in the slightest, but also, I am not a storybook guy, if you catch my drift. And I don't want to. We're here taking care of some business for a friend. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to do any of the other stuff. And I don't want to get her hopes up and have her thinking, like, oh, well, I found them. It's like,
Well, I was thinking about actually doing magic in my act.
Should be fine.
When I perform at the events, I'll just tell people it's fake. They won't know.
Absolutely. I don't really do it too often because I don't really like lying about stuff like that if I can help it. But once or twice I have, played, hide the coin with a coin that's not really a coin.
Oh. Fun.
I think we should be looking into more ways to make money.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea as well. We very much lucked out with Lady Stanway, but
made 15 silver this morning. Not too bad if I'm gonna say myself.
Okay, well, some of us are not you and have a little bit more trouble putting on an entertaining show.
This is fine. I'm fine with supporting the party if need be.
Appreciated, noted.
Is 15 silver a lot?
No, it's not, but I didn't work that long, so I had to get back in time for breakfast, and it was the morning crowd, of course. And if I could scout out better for like a tavern where more, people who are willing to drop coins establish themselves, I'm sure it'll be fine. A different situation, but that is a different situation in which we do not have a Lady Stanway, but we have a Lady Stanway, so we needed to worry about funds too much at the time being.
Hi, I'm the guy who worries about a lot of things all the time, and I am worried about what happens if there is no longer a Lady Stanway helping us.
Like someone's going to murder her?
What? No.
Oh God, no! I hope not.
Oh, you said if there was no longer a Lady Stanway, and then you paused, and I'm sorry, I was confused.
If it became politically inconvenient for her to openly support us,
Oh, I just thought you meant that maybe we were putting her lives at risk since we're helping, a traitor.
Okay, Yulyanya.
Okay, well maybe we shouldn't say that kind of stuff out loud in the city.
Can we? Okay, so here's the thing, right? In my book, there is one traitor, and we're going to be handling issues with that traitor very soon. I hope.
I know Monty's not a real traitor.
Right. But
he is on a lot of wanted posters, though. I'm just trying to be realistic.
We actually haven't seen any Monty wanted posters since you've entered the city.
Thought we heard mention of them.
He mentioned that they were there last time he was here, 3 or 4 years ago. But when you guys got to the docks, he found that they were gone.
Gotcha.
He is the story you got is he has been presumed dead at this point.
Okay.
So he's just
She's
they've
fuzzy
given
on
up.
the details.
Totally fair.
look, I'm just trying to make sure that we're still going to be okay. Plus, we've got to figure something out for whenever we end up leaving here, because this is a great place to pick up and put together whatever our actual money making is going to be about. So,
We could become a troupe of performers. I have experience in that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't really have anything to help with that. So
You could be the money man. You could be the one that collects the admissions.
The manager.
I guess so.
Or
Sure.
hear me out. Hear me out. Lady Stanway loves adventurers, right? She was talking about the patron thing, right? Patron of adventurers, huh? Sound good? That sounds great to me.
Yeah, but he doesn't like that word.
You know what? But the thing is, sometimes we've got to do what we don't like to make a little cash. She's fine.
That is true. Tedros, what do you like more? Not being called an adventurer? Or making money?
Money
Not
or
being called an
pride?
adventurer.
That's insane. That's insane that you've just said that to my face.
He chose pride.
You are an adventurer by definition.
I am a man who happens to have
Lots of adventures?
Mm.
With very cool other adventurer friends?
You all are very cool, yes. You're not going to get me to say it. Not that easily. Keep trying. I feel like if there were an actual need, if push came to shove, I don't worry about whether or not the things that I need will be provided. I'm taken care of. But I'm not alone. And I want to make sure that you all are taken care of too, especially if we're going to be sailing together from now on. So.
All right.
Mr. Boatman,
Yes.
how much longer?
We're actually just pulling up.
How convenient.
I was just about to actually say
How
that.
convenient for the plot.
I love this small talk that we've got going on, but right now the only thing that you three need to worry about is what kind of outfit you're going to get. Now, come on, go on.
Okay, I'm going.
I never get to choose my own outfits.
Well, you get to choose multiple now.
I don't know what to look for.
Whatever makes your heart happy.
Whatever makes my heart happy.
Just really just think, ask yourself, would I be happy in this? But just go.
I'll have to try the other things on. A lot of things.
Absolutely, you should.
Right. So as you all, you're actually all, you made your way along the river. You made your way into a couple canals and then under a bridge at one point, and you pull up in front of a establishment. This is one of the fewer establishments you've seen that seems to primarily face the water, actually. Which, given the fact that it caters to a wealthier clientele, seems to kind of fit into a picture you're getting, which is that walking is for poor people in this city. And if you can afford your own boat, that is the way for rich people to travel. It's like the equivalent of a carriage in a more land-based place. So this place facing the water, there's not really a sidewalk that leads to it. It's there's just a walkway that goes right out to the water. So if you want to get to this place, you pretty much need to be getting off a gondola or other boat from the water. You can see a sign up front is a slightly faded, peachy pink color, painted on the outside with white trim and accents around the windows and everything. It's a little bit, you can tell it's older and a little bit faded, but in that kind of way that's it's been well taken care of, but it shows that it's been around and been an established part of the community for years. One of those things where they've definitely probably used it as a selling point. And you can see a sign that looks recently repainted that says the Velvet Coterie as the title, but Coterie is spelled C-O-A-T, like coat. And yeah, you pull up, and then there is just a open set of doors. It's with the humidity and temperature here, pretty much every place you've been to, actually, except for the indoor, except for the houses, has just kind of left their doors and windows and stuff just wide open, so people can just walk right in.
I'm so sorry. Can this episode be titled "Get In, Witches, We're Going Shopping"?
We'll see if anything else more
Important.
notable happens, but it's definitely in the running right now.
It's a shopping episode. This whole game is a dress-up game.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, so you can exit the boat and then walk on inside.
Do that.
All right. So as you enter in, you can see it has like a very like salon, not like hair salon, but like seated like lounges and like nice carpeting and like paintings on the walls and very like lounge room, like visiting area type air to it with like doors for dressing rooms and things. And it's a very customer facing business. All of the production stuff, there's no fabrics hanging out here. There's no like mannequins or anything. It's very much just like come and sit and drink and enjoy the atmosphere. And as you come in, a elven man in like a cream-colored brocade pattern waistcoat with a white shirt and a like maroon ascot with like full-on like back-length hair, pinned back, like kind of pulled back like very like Lord of the Rings elf style, where it's like the front bits are kind of like pulled back behind his ears to kind of pull everything down and away and just like keep it nice and neat with like little bits of jewelry woven into his hair, lots of rings, and then earrings on his ears. Comes walking out, very like upright posture, hands together like this as he comes walking out and says, "Hello and welcome. And now who is it that I can say is gracing my presence in my establishment?"
I am the Lady Viktoria of the 5-Star Chalice in Aor. These are my friends. We are guests of the Lady Stanway here.
Well, it is lovely to meet all of you. It is never, I have never had a guest from Aor in my establishment, so very welcome and lovely to meet you, and guests of Lady Stanway are always welcome. Now, how can I help you all today?
They need outfits. And we were told that you are the best place to come.
You have certainly come to the right place then. Let's see, what are we... Come in. Now, have a seat, relax. Can I get you some refreshments before we begin?
What sorts of refreshments?
Well, of course, we have the usuals. We have wine and tea and coffee, but of course, there's always we have some lovely iced rose petal water. If you're looking for something a little lighter, I know it's the middle of the day.
I'll take some wine.
All right. Any for anybody else?
I will absolutely take a wine as well, thank you.
Wine.
No.
No. All right. Suit yourselves. Wine it is. And while I'm gone, see what thoughts come to your mind as to what sort of dazzling displays we can make you all into, more so than you are already. And he hurries off into the back of the room, leaving you all there for a few minutes before coming back with a tray with like a silver pitcher on it, and then a couple of matching silver goblets, I guess. They're like wine glasses, but made of silver, kind of like almost triangular in shape, but like with nice like patterns, like almost like a knot pattern woven in around the lip that matches the pitcher that he comes in and sets down. So what are we doing today? What can I do for all of you?
I hate going first, but I do have several ideas. And then Princess will take out her journal.
Mm-hmm.
Princess just been kind of like observing in the way that she does, like how people like dress here. So Princess has 5 specific asks for 5 different outfits. So we're gonna be here for a while, and different events, different things. So, one, the first thing she's gonna do is describe an Avalian style dress, which I'm pretty sure he's probably never made before. But she has a whole paper of how discerning what it is and what she wants, and that dress is going to be blood red. And I hear you typing over there. I can also send this over to you as well because I haven't typed out. And the next thing after that will be like a short dress that kind of like comes out at the sides, not too short, just comes like below the knees, has lots of tulle at the bottom, very clearly designed for like walking, with the idea that this would be an outfit that like when they go like promenade in the like garden or whatever, that would be an outfit there. The next thing would be an outfit that she'd wear if she was performing, which is kind of like a well-fitted like white dress that has like, it looks like at the top kind of like a suit jacket, but like off of the shoulders, and like buttons all the way down to the side until it gets to a split and it goes out. It's like wide and dramatic, like this is supposed to be on a stage for that outfit. The next outfit would kind of be like a very like Navy inspired, like based off how the naval uniform looks like, but like remixed. And that would be what is the color of the Navy uniform? It's blue, right? Yeah, so this one would not be that. It would be lavender, and it will have her family seal on the lapel. Nice. And then the last dress, the party dress, she's gonna be like, make this in the high fashion of Titan's grape, but it needs to be royal blue. And that is all. I know that's a lot, but like that is the vision.
He's like has a notepad out, is like
yes.
scribbling away as you're like flipping over, like already like sketching out what you're describing, like in just like quick lines just to get a general shape idea, and like checking them in with you as you're describing them.
Yeah. And like the short dress would also be a royal blue.
Okay. He's kind of just like, magnificent. Oh, I love a challenge. What about everybody else? What are you thinking? I know that's a tough act to follow. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
I will go next. I think 2 or 3 outfits. One should probably be a pretty standard Aeorian outfit. Just thinking in midnight blue with silver trim. Probably a good functional cloak to go with it as well. Something like a short something to hang over the shoulder. The second one, I don't really know how to describe it. Kind of like a suit, but with a crescent cut out in each of the parts of the breast of it, and it should hang roughly. They should be roughly where the and he holds out his holy symbol, roughly where this would be, and so that when it hangs, it's visible, kind of framed by the cloth itself. Same color, I think, would probably be good. Midnight blue, silver trim, and then, but for this one, actually, I don't know if this is too much trouble for you, but I was thinking maybe like, okay, you don't have a trouble look on your face. All right. Sort of like stars on it, but like not like big stars, but like kind of like speckles. So it's supposed to kind of look like a night sky. I don't know if that makes sense.
Certainly it does. Now, there's a couple different ways we can achieve that, depending on how much drama you're looking for. We can do it with embroidery. We can just simply embroider some white or silver thread into and throughout the fabric, either with pinpricks, or we can do little cross-stitch stars. That's the easiest way. There is another option, would be insetting some nice sparkly little stones throughout. studding it with those to provide that sort of twinkling effect. And then there is a. I have been looking to find an excuse for this one. It may be too much for you, but there is there's a metal worker in town who has they specializes in working with a very light, flimsy sort of metal, not the kind that's useful in most applications, but is capable of making these delightful little tiny, almost foil thin circles that you can weave together onto clothes, and they provide a shiny effect, which some can be in that midnight blue, and then some could also be in that silver to provide a shining night sky.
Yeah, let's go with that last one. I think that sounds like yes, we'll definitely do that.
I've been looking for an excuse to try these out.
Well, I'm glad to give you an excuse.
Tedros just agreed to a full sequin outfit.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I know that. And I guess for the last one, sort of, what's the best way to describe it? It's almost like a robe, but as if the robe kind of like wrapped itself around the limbs, sort of. So it's kind of billowy in certain places. Like I thought of like maybe like a sash almost that kind of like came around and down and around one leg and like across another arm or something.
Certainly doable, yes.
I think that is yes. I haven't done this in a while, so pardon me.
Not at all. My job is to not only make the garments, but help those of you who are not experienced in the designing process to take the ideas in your mind and make them physical, even if we need to build some bridges between there and here, there and the material, in the process.
Fantastic. I appreciate that.
Of course.
I've never done this before. Is that a problem?
Not at all. I am happy to be the first one to welcome you into the foray of designing your own welcoming you into the foray of the wonderful world of designing your own clothing.
Thank you.
It is my honor and pleasure. Now, how can we? What are you thinking? What sort of thoughts enter into your mind? They can be anything. They can be concepts. They can be images. They can be colors. They can be whatever, and we can take them and put them together and to make them into something beautiful.
I'm sorry, Tedros, were you done? Can I?
I am very done. Yes, please, absolutely.
Okay.
Wonderful. As a side note, yes, if each of you, as like once you've come up with what you're going with, if you can send those to me in Discord just so I have them, that would be helpful.
Well, I've been thinking, and it might be nice to have a dress for every sort of season.
Now, do you mean one dress to cover all 4 seasons, or do you mean 4 separate dresses, one for each season?
4 separate dresses.
Right.
I was thinking one of them could look like a cabbage with ruffles at the bottom.
Green with ruffles and texture to match the vegetable itself.
Yes. And
I can certainly manage that.
And then I was thinking, since this is my first time to such a beachy climate, maybe a dress that is inspired by the ocean and the waves and the beach.
Certainly.
And then I was thinking maybe one that is that has to do with the sky. My name is Yulyanya Skybringer. So I thought maybe something that has like a sun on the back.
All right. Continue. I have thoughts for all of these, but please continue. We'll work out the details in a moment. But please let the ideas run wild.
And then the last would be flames. I think it would be really cool to have a dress that looked like fire.
All right. I am loving these ideas. right. So sort of almost the four elements. The cabbage is the earth, and then we have the water, and then we have the sky, and then we have the fire. Ooh, I love this idea.
And then, I require one more outfit. I'm a performer. I do acrobatics. If you could make me an outfit, that is in the fashion of the area. I don't really know what it looks like, but if you could make me something that is flexible and easy to perform in, but looks very high drama.
And you say you haven't done this before.
I've heard my sister ordering clothes before.
I see. Well, okay, I have thoughts on all of these. Let's start from the beginning and work our way down again. So for the cabbage, I'm thinking fabric green, slight differences in shades of green to make the layers visible, and just sort of leaf-shaped layers making everything up, slightly uneven edges just to give that natural growing feeling, and then downward across the top and the sides and everything, but then downward across the bottom, looking much more wide and round, like the overlapping larger leaves of the cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful. And
could you make a detachable cape for that?
Certainly I can, yes. Can a cabbage cape or something different?
Yes, cabbage cape.
Wonderful. Are you were you thinking of what are we thinking for the top? What are we thinking for the top of the cabbage?
Could you do the top of the dress where it looks kind of like a heart?
Oh yes, I can certainly do that. And then shoulders, no shoulders. What are we thinking there?
No shoulders.
All right. Sort of like just the cabbage ends there. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. I can see it in my head now. And excellent. All right. Let's see. The second one was the waves, you said.
Yes.
The water. For that one, I'm thinking somewhat similar to the cabbage with the layers. I think several of these are going to work, but layers is going to work with all of these, almost like a theme for you.
Yes.
I'm thinking the variety, starting at lighter colors at the top, and then working our way down to darker colors like the deep of the ocean.
Yeah, maybe if it could start kind of the beige of the sandy beach and then end in the darker blues.
Wonderful idea, yes. With some more fluffy tulle at the bottom, like the foam of the waves crashing on the shore.
Wonderful.
I can see that. Similar cut to the first one, or are we thinking a different style?
I think maybe a different style, something, long and flowy, with maybe some thin straps.
All right. Yeah, writing all this down. Now the sundress, you said all you gave for that one is just the sun on the back. Now what are we thinking about for the rest of it?
I was thinking something that's very, very light blue, almost white, and on the back, just a bright golden sun.
All right. Are you thinking metallic for the golden, or more of just the yellowish color? Ooh, all right, I like it. And you said so light blue it's almost white?
Yes, and could that actually have slits down both of the legs?
Certainly. What do you think about for this one, perhaps a more gauzy, lacy type of fabric, so that in some of the places where it's thinner, it has that white look to it, almost see-through like the air itself.
Clouds.
Yes, and then in the places where it overlaps more, you can see more of that blue, that sky blue color coming through.
Yes, could that actually be the fabric for the bottom of it, and the top of it be the very, very light blue in more of a stretchy fabric?
Certainly, yes. This is all very doable. Right, I think that is for that one. And then flames. Flames are difficult. Now, for flames, you can certainly go. There's a few different ways to go about flames. You can take just reds and oranges and yellows and overlap them and do sort of jagged flame tongue like shapes coming to a point. You can go up, you can go down, but that always comes across looking very costumey. I'm trying to think of how we can perhaps manage this for you.
Could you do red feathers?
Ooh, I like that idea. Red feather. We could do some red and gold and yellow feathers, sort of naturally, and then very, very light. So as the wind catches them, they'll move like the.
I've been
like the
reading
flames
adventure
themselves.
books, and they talk about something called a phoenix.
Ooh. Ooh, I like that. All right, yes. Inspired by the phoenix. Yes, yes. All right.
Well,
and
thank you so
then-
much.
Of course. And then the last one, your performing outfit. You said in
Yes.
the style, yes?
Yes.
Difficult, that one, difficult, because the style is very. We're dealing with opposites here. The style is very difficult to move in, very rigid and then puffy on the bottom. But we could certainly give the illusion of that rigidity, making it look like it fits that style while being still flexible enough for you to move in. And then for the bottom, what do you think about the skirt being of the style but being detachable, so that
Yes.
you could then move freely in your usual sort of, I'm guessing, leotard style?
Yes, that would be perfect.
Wonderful. That is perfectly doable. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, thank you so
All
much.
right.
That's amazing.
Any other ideas, thoughts, things that I can work with there? And any of these? Anything else you want to come up with, change?
Yes. Princess will actually ask for.
Oh, yeah.
So ridiculous. Princess will ask for 2 more hats that look very similar to hers. But one's another black one, but it looks more like a disc. It doesn't have like the middle top part of that, so we'll just like, go over the head and like hair would be able to come out of it. And then another one that's like wide and white, and that has just like not a lot, just kind of like a very simple ribbon around it that kind of hang off the hat, and that's it for. And also probably like something like a coat, like if it's cold at night, like something like a fur shawl to put over her, like when it's cold or something. If it gets cold, it's Titan's grave. Probably not gonna happen. But
sometimes at night, but yeah, not too
yeah.
much.
But
Yeah,
she'll just have that just in case. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right.
Do you have any fancy hair combs?
Fancy hair combs. Yeah, I think yes. The kind that just the kind to use or the kind to leave in.
The kind to leave in.
Yes, I certainly have. We have a variety of accessories here I can show you. Do you have a material in mind, the sort of thing?
Well, I was thinking for the beach look, maybe I could have a golden comb in my hair with pearls.
Be right back. And he'll leave and go away for a second and come back with like a wooden display case with like a padded velvet backing to it, with like pins set in to hold things in place, and just come out and just like takes a few minutes, but like he comes out with like a variety of golden hair combs, like with pearls on them, probably at least like 10 of them of different styles and arrangements of the pearls, all just like set up so he can hold it up at an angle for you and just kind of put them on display so you can see what he has to work with.
She'll probably gravitate toward one that looks like more intricate in the actual metal work, where it's got some like grooves and texture to it, and she'll be like, that one, please. That one's really beautiful.
Right, excellent choice.
Thank
and you
you.
say you haven't done this before. All right, these are certainly wonderful ideas, wonderful challenges. And my lady, you didn't want anything? All right. I'm sure your wardrobe is already magnificent. Well, measurement time. We're going to have to get a little bit friendly, but don't worry, I don't bite. And then pulls out the like measuring tape and everything, and then goes about just like with a little note, goes about like going around and just like doing all the measurements and stuff. For each of you, kind of also asks like for each outfit, like how you want them to fit in certain places, like how close, how tight, how, like you said you wanted the stretchy, so that should be a little bit closer. For this one, you want a bit more looser so you can move, things like that. Tedros is like, what kind of cut do you want from the pant leg? Do you want it to be like a very tight, close to the leg, or do you want it to be a little bit wider, somewhere in the middle? Like what kind of, are we looking for boot cut, bell bottom, skinny jean? Like what are we looking for here? But yeah, just kind of goes through that whole process, takes down exhaustive notes on everything. And then once he's done, he stands up and says, all right, That should be everything I need. Now, it's going to take some time to put these together. Not too long, of course, because I understand. Well, I can guess that you're here to enjoy the season, and you're going to need these outfits to do so. So I will be employing a team to put these together as quickly as possible for you. Perhaps we can prioritize, and I can, if you have ones that, if there's one in particular maybe for each of you that we would like first, that I can prioritize, get those put together quickly, send them your way, and then I can work on finishing the rest.
Question, I can't remember. Did Lady Stanway say there was an actual party happening soon? Like, did she mention that? Like,
there is kind of just a constant stream of balls and soirees, and just generally also just like a running party, like a general running like a low key party of just people going and hanging out in his estate. But there are also more scheduled balls, for example, throughout. So you don't actually know how soon the next big event is.
Okay. Since you don't know, I would say the Avalian dress would be what Princess tells to prioritize.
The cabbage dress would be wonderful first.
Love that idea.
And Tedros will ask them to focus on the suit with the jacket that has the cutout first.
Absolutely. In that case, I will get working on all of those, and I will have them sent to Lady Stanway's house, and everything is taken care of, because she is a wonderful host, I understand.
She is easily the best.
You must all be quite remarkable people to have caught her attention.
I would definitely say so.
Good. Humility is overrated. Be honest about who you are.
Well, you are a wonderful designer.
You haven't even seen the finished product yet. But thank you, I am.
What was your name again for
I am so sorry. All of this, and I went through the whole measurements and everything. I don't think I ever introduced myself. My name is Elidir.
Okay, Elidir. My friends call me Princess.
Ooh. Your clothes aren't the only drama in your life, I see.
Oh, okay. Yes, I suppose.
And you of course are Lady Viktoria of the 5-Star Chalice. And
Tedros.
Tedros?
I'm Yulyanya Skybringer of the Valley.
Ooh. Very nice to meet you, Yulyanya Skybringer of the Valley. All right. With that, then, actually, on your way out, he's going to say, I'm sorry, Yulyanya. Your name rings a bell. Not quite exactly, though. I've heard of performers. Sky something, I think.
Yes. Well, Yulyanya Skybringer and Reverence Skytaker.
And you said you were a performer?
Yes. My family, sister and our troupe, we were Reverence and the Skybringers. It was partially named after her, partially named after me, and they've disappeared. But they were known throughout the lands. I've been only traveling with them for a short while before the disappearance and before I met all of my new friends, but I got to go to so many different places and perform for so many different people.
That must be what I'm thinking about. I thought I heard the name more recently, but if you say they disappeared, which I'm terribly sorry to hear about, then I must be mistaken.
Yeah.
What was that more recent time, however? Just out of curiosity.
It's somewhere in the back of my mind. I can't think of it exactly. I could have. Don't quote me on this. I could have sworn I heard some Sky name something spoken about. One of the entertainer groups that is being brought about for the season at the Clawborn Estate. I could be mistaken though.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you for telling us. Do you know how we could get there?
That's Lord von Stark's estate, the one where all of the social events are happening. And if these dresses and suits are for what I think they are, I assume you're heading there eventually. You're on your way there eventually.
Yes, we are.
Right.
Yes. Thank you for everything.
Of course, it is my absolute pleasure. You were wonderful guests to have, and I am so excited to get to work on everything you have commissioned from me. I will have them to you as soon as possible, and I cannot wait to see you in these wonderful designs you've come up with.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Do give my regards to Lady Stanway.
Of course.
Of course.
All right. You'll head out and get back on the boat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
as we're meandering out, it's pretty clear that Yule's just kind of like still in a state of shock from hearing that someone has heard a name similar to her sister.
It's a lead. It's exciting, yes.
Yes. I just wasn't expecting to have a lead so soon. But we have to focus on Monty. So I don't want to sidetrack us, but we'll be there and we can follow up then.
Exactly.
All right. So you get on the boat and start heading back to Lady Stanway's estate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you can head back to her estate. It's like mid to late afternoon by this point, like approaching dinner time from just like all the time it took to go through, like, obviously there was more like description and working back and forth with designs and sketching and things like that for as you went through all that, and then the measurement process and stuff. So that was a lengthy process, but there was like wine and refreshments and things and like finger sandwiches and all sorts of just like little snacks to keep you fed while you were entertained and put together your designs. So you can get back on the boat, make your way back down the river, back into the lock, and then up to Lady Stanway's estate.
Yes, we guess find Lady Stanway once we get back, because that's what she told us to do.
Yeah. As you come back up and look for her, you can see her just like moving decidedly away from a door that stays closed, and you remember it's the door that Monty went into with his mom, and she looks slightly flustered as she hears someone approaching, and just like is moving quickly away from it. But you don't hear the door open or close at anywhere in that process.
Okay.
Just how did it all go? Did you get everything figured out? Do you have your outfits selected?
Yes. Thank you so much as well.
Is there anything else I can do for you, or are we just waiting for the reunion in there to finish up before you find out what your next steps are?
I suppose, yes. Waiting for the reunion to be resolved. Though, I suppose we could talk to you. I don't imagine, though we would not make any moves without Montblanc, obviously. But I don't imagine like he would be getting into the thick of things, because trying to keep a low profile potentially.
That depends on some things. It's up to him what he wants to do. It could be done. I will be honest, I was a close family friend, and I only recognized him because of some specific things he said, and even then I had my suspicions until he outright told me, essentially. So I think that he could, with his current appearance, he could get away with making his way in with all of you, as long as he didn't draw too much attention to himself. And even then, that attention would have to be drawn to Mr. von Stark himself or someone he knew. But from what I remember, Montblanc was less of a social kind. He took after his father.
Hmm. Yes. All right. Well, I suppose then yes, we are just waiting for Montblanc then.
All right. Well, why don't we see what we want for dinner tonight? I'll see what the cook is putting together, and we can. Again, I'm assuming you've had a long bit of traveling. So, if you'd like to entertain an old woman with some stories, I would be happy to hear them.
We have lots of stories.
Oh, I bet you do.
I could tell you about the danger kitty.
Let's figure out food first, and then please do. Okay. And she is going to go get dinner figured out and everything, get all that put together. And you can sit down with Lady Stanway and talk about that. Given the unexpected absence of Justin, it is a little difficult to move too far forward without Montblanc here, given the important conversation there that will determine a few things moving forward. So we may need to cut the session. I think we need to cut the session short and then come back next week and start with Montblanc and his mom's conversation and then see where we're moving forward from there. I apologize for that.
I actually would like to do, because it's later in the evening now.
Yes, it is. If there's something you'd like to do in the evening here, then absolutely
I made the decision to do something stupid.
Wonderful. Excellent.
Princess is gonna go in to the city, and she's gonna do this twice. She's going to find she's gonna scope out at least 2 taverns that seem relatively busy and have not the most I don't imagine the rich people don't come down here, but someplace where it seems I guess middle class people would be chilling.
Okay.
So the first time she's gonna go into one of these, she's gonna put a disguise on, kind of low key disguise again. Another low-key thing. And she's going to sit in a corner away. And she's gonna my message thing is at will, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Princess is gonna sit in the corner and she's basically going to rumor in St. Petersburg herself. And constantly casting message, not to anyone specifically, just people near them. Talk of a lost civilian princess, like that in these in the sort of different things, different theories she had about what people think happened to her, and message that in the area. She's gonna do that for a while. Yeah.
Are you trying? So the messages. Are you trying to send it?
Yeah.
Are you trying to send those messages so a person knows some magic is happening? Or are you sending them
no?
That
I don't want them to. Yeah, I want them to think that they're overhearing a conversation.
Okay. Gotcha. That is. Gotcha.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to do. The illusion of them overhearing something.
Okay. So given how your message works, that is actually much more doable. The spirit can just do it from a distance to the person they're targeting.
Yep.
You can just kind of pepper that around through the tavern. You can definitely see the people the rumor monger types who are more interested and prick up their ears when they hear these things, and you can, if you want to lay more seeds and make sure you're sending these to the right people, you can just keep returning back to those people with more information.
Yeah, kind of and give vague descriptions basically because her family features are kind of that they all look very similar, and kind of describing that, basically the red hair, purple eyes, warm brown skin. So she's gonna do that for 2.5 hours in the first location, and then do the same thing at another location, but a different disguise self. Do the same thing at someplace else. And then she's going to go to the tavern she went to this morning as herself, and do the same thing while she's playing again because she's like, why not? I'm here.
Okay. Give me a performance check to see how well you can do both of those things at once.
Yep. I imagine like she has like practice doing it, but yeah. That is plus my performance. It's definitely over 20. That's 22.
Okay. Yeah. You are able to expertly, like, while playing the violin, be sending out your spirits to like do the messages like while you're performing. So like there's those people can overhear those whispers just like a little bit over the music, so like they have to like lean in and listen for them.
Yeah. And she's like to get into people's subconscious, she's playing Avalian music.
Okay. So yeah, by the end there's definitely some people like you don't have to add in. At the other places, there was like kind of just like noted, but like the fact that you're up there performing matching this description, there's definitely more whispers to each other, like to people. Like the whispering takes hold much more immediately as the people are like looking at you and like thinking about those descriptions that they're hearing from the whispers around them. She still has her
hat on like a little bit, like, but she like peeks out of it occasionally while she's playing the violin. So it's kind of like they would be like squinting and be like, yeah. And then she's gonna be like, I'm satisfied with that. And she's gonna head back up.
Okay.
Back to the same way.
All right. I would say there's a few people who, like, as you're finishing up performing, you can tell there's like a few people who are like looking to try and like speak with you afterwards, possibly about the rumors they were hearing. You can choose to just like move through the crowd in a way that like avoids them entirely to keep up the mystery, or if you want to like engage with someone directly, you can also do that.
Who are the people that like look like they're trying to approach me?
You can definitely, it's not a very big crowd, it's more like a handful of people. Like one looks like maybe a wealthy merchant, hard to tell, it's the end of the night, so looking slightly disheveled. Like someone who maybe a naval officer, just like a sailor, maybe a ship's captain. You're not really sure exactly. It's just hard to tell based on the dress, but
Princess will do the pretend thing, like giving him time to catch up because she was moving pretty quickly before she like stopped. Do like the damsel in distress pretend thing to like drop like her violin case a little bit in his path that he's coming towards.
Which one? There was like some like merchants.
The wealthy looking.
The merchant looking one. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Larger. Speaking of rumor in St. Petersburg. Not Dimitri. What's the tall guy's name?
Oh my goodness! I watch this movie all the time and it's just like can't remember. Oh, what's his name?
It's the other character.
Vladimir Popov.
Is that his name?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think his name is Vlad. Yeah, Vlad is what they call him. Vlad.
Yeah.
Count Vladimir Popov.
The other type of male character that Don Bluth knows how to draw, because he only knows how to draw two men.
Two men.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Princess is doing the bend and snap.
Yeah, that's what Princess is doing.
So imagine Vlad with red hair, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
As he like bends down and like very delicately in his hands holds it up to you. He's like, "Oh, excuse me, you dropped this."
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. This is my violin. I love to play. So I'm sorry.
Well, I am very happy to have caught you. That was lovely music. Where? I'm not familiar with the tunes. Where does that music come from?
Oh, a little bit north of here, Avalia. This daily music.
Oh, interesting. I just heard a rumor about sensational rumor, I'm sure, but about a missing princess from Avelia.
Oh, interesting. Rumor. That's fascinating.
Thought so as well.
I don't imagine most people haven't ever been to Avelia to know. So it's interesting. Well, do you have interest in traveling to Avelia? Interest in Avelia?
Well, I haven't recently. I don't know very much about it. I've only heard stories about it. Give me an insight check really quick.
Ooh, true. Wait, let me see what's my plus on insight. Okay. Can I just use my passive insight? Cries. Okay, my insight roll. That's an 8, I guess.
Okay. Something about like he's hiding something about his interest in Avelia, but you're not entirely sure what it is.
It is. Okay.
He just kind of brushes it off, just like, oh well, not recently, but I've heard it's lovely.
Yes. Last time I visited was lovely, but that was some time ago.
Are you from there?
Oh yes, I am from Avelia.
What brings you to Titan's Grave?
Well, the courting season of everything everyone has been talking about. Even I heard about it from where I was traveling, and I guess I'm a little bit old romantic. We are up at me and my traveling party is up at with Lady Stanway, and she's being our, I guess, patron for the season.
You are a guest of Lady Stanway, as you say.
Yes.
Well, how rude of me. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Melville Weston.
Melville Weston. Pleasure to meet you.
I specialize in textiles. Now, not a very exciting business endeavor, but it certainly pays the bills.
Well, where are my manners? You can call me Miss March.
March.
Yes.
Lovely to meet you, Miss March. And you said you're here for the courting season. Does that mean that we will be seeing you at one of the Von Stark soirees?
Oh yes, that's the idea. Yes.
Well, I suppose I'll have to find my way over there. I was planning on it already, of course, but if I see you there, I will be sure to say hello again.
Oh, please do. Yes. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you again for the violin. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And then Princess will start doing a curtsy and then pretend to catch herself doing it. And I was like, and then leave and go.
Okay, performance or deception check, your choice.
Performance or deception.
Yeah. To really like just kind of sell that like in a way that he would catch it.
Okay, plus my performance. I'm doing performance. Sorry, my thing decided to kick me out of my character board to my other characters. I don't need that. I did performance. Okay, that's +5. So that's a 22.
Oh yeah, he definitely like you can see him like take notice of that, but then like when you like there's like a take notice of it, but then like when you just try and brush it off, he just like ignores it, but like definitely is filing that away into his mind. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And then as you go and leave, one more insight check just to see how you think that all went.
Come on. Okay, insight. Okay, what's my plus insight? I wish I could just memorize these numbers, just have at the top of my head. That's a +7, so that's a 19.
Okay. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this man absolutely is convinced that he just stumbled on a princess in hiding. The whole like the fact that you are being hosted by Lady Stanway, who is like a maker of like high society, people in general, has him just like, yep, that is a lost princess that Lady Stanway found and is going to be introducing to court, and this is a secret that I have just I've figured it out. I caught her. Like, he is very proud of himself that he managed to uncover this secret that Hugh manufactured for him.
Manufactured for him. Okay. Excellent. You're right. She's gonna go with her snake companion back up to.
You just add that to my mental image that there's a snake in all of these interactions.
Lila's always there now. unless I say that Lila, it got left behind. Lila's there.
Good to know. Good to know.
All right. That's all I had.
Okay. All right. So as you head, is anything anybody else wanted to do with their afternoon to evening time here while you sort of have some downtime waiting for Monty? Okay. 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 Are you trying to walk over there, or are you just gonna like take Lady Stanway's boat, or just like get a ferry or something? Okay, that's 1 silver piece to make your way over. Okay, so you make your way over to the boat and start practicing your acrobatics routines. Gotcha. 1 silver, which is 1 gold. Yep. Oh, your audio is apparently not picking up right now.
Shoot. Okay. Well, all I had said at that point was that Yule is going to go on over to the ship. She's taking a little ferry, and she's going to be choreographing her new routines. And she brings the monkey so that they can bond.
And the monkey is there. All right. Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you've got your like silks and like acrobatics setup that Monty put together for you in there, so you can start practicing in there. Okay.
And she'd also be doing some practicing like off of high points, like in the ship, to practice slow fall.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, you can practice that and find that. Yeah, it's really interesting. You kind of just like focus, and it's very like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style. Just like gravity doesn't affect you the same way it does everybody else. Like you can just like get to the top of like the ship has those struts that you kind of like attach sails onto, but are actually for like containing an elemental in. But like there's one that goes up probably about 15-20 feet above the deck of the ship. You can like clamber your way up onto the top of that and jump off, and it's very like light and airy as you just kind of like slowly descend down and just like lightly touch down on the deck of the ship.
She's gonna start like practicing certain moves that she had known from doing like silks or hammocks or lyra, and she's gonna like transform that into like slow fall tricks.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So you are on the ship doing that. If you're doing that like off the top of the ship and everything, you might spot like sailors and deckhands and people just like stopping and watching you.
Yeah, she's like strung up the circuit, like bits of circus tent to create silks like outside of the ship too, and then like doing like slow fall tricks off of the ship.
Yeah, you're definitely like getting people like stop what they're doing and work when they're working, and then like watching you for a bit, and they're like getting like yelled at or something. It's like, hey, get back to work, and then they do so.
She's enjoying it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Start choreographing. All right, Tedros, Viktoria, anything from the two of you?
Does Lady Stanway have like a garden on property or like
She does,
some kind
yes.
of nature? So Victoria's
Her-
gonna take her cards out there and just find a nice tree to sit beside.
Okay. Yeah, her house is kind of like U-shaped, with facing towards the back. So like the gardens start in the middle of the U and then like extend out behind the house.
I'm gonna find a nice older tree, like an
Okay.
established tree, and sit back on that, and then
Mhm.
just kind of see what the cards say now that I have the meanings written on them.
Okay. Go ahead and so you go ahead, you sit down, you do it, and you do a reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just like-
So you ran into a problem last time you did this, and you're probably gonna run into the same problem again, which was when you had the guy transcribe your cards, you did not keep track of right side up versus like which direction it was facing, which is important in you know a reading. So let's see.
So you ask. Some people don't read reversed. Some people do.
Yeah,
It's
I
very
think for-
personalized.
I think for I think for I think for Victoria and for her purposes, it does make a difference.
Yeah, probably.
So
I'll let you guys see the cards that I'm drawing. I'm not gonna see them.
mhm.
So there are the three cards. I don't know what they are.
I'll be honest, I don't either.
That's what they look like.
Hold the phone. Hold them up one. Oh shoot. Hold them up.
Yeah, that's what Victoria's
Hold
doing.
them up one more time.
Oh, I lost them.
Shoot. Never mind. I'll have to
Was it-
rewatch the episode.
Mhm.
Is it the top three cards?
Yeah.
That looks
Yes,
right, yeah,
that's
yeah.
them. Okay.
There's the first one.
Okay.
Is it in frame?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first one. The second one. And then the third one.
Okay.
Those are interesting.
I will also tell you, I will also tell you that Victoria, something about like you can feel a connection, like the magical connection to your cards. They feel a little, you know how like when there is a like teenagers in particular, when you ask them like what's going on or what's wrong or like how was school today or something, like they basically give you that like it was fine, it's fine, whatever, it's fine, like that kind of attitude.
But it's
You're
not
getting
fine.
you're getting that from the cards, like a very like it's fine, whatever type of vibe, but like definitely with a detectable undercurrent of unhappiness.
Are you mad because I wrote on you?
They do not respond because they are still a deck of cards.
He's just gonna start asking them questions. Be like, why? What is going on? Why are you mad at me? And just try and just feel it out in her intuition.
Give me an insight check.
Am I good at those? No. I am today, however. For that is a natural 20 for a 19 on the insight check.
You have a negative modifier for that? Oh my lord.
I may not be the brightest bone in the bunch.
Every single time she rolls a wisdom check, I just carry on.
Okay. The writing on the cards has made the cards upset. And readings with them will be like under duress at best for the cards. Like they are reluctant to tell you anything because you've defaced them.
Okay, look. It was either this or not knowing what I was doing. I am trying to fix it, okay?
One second. One second. Let me make sure.
Blowing up your Discord messages.
You're good. You're good. Oh yeah. Okay. As you're arguing at the deck, is it just like sitting in front of you on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're arguing with the deck of cards, there's just like a light breeze comes through and kind of just like blows across the deck. So just like some of the cards get just like scattered, not too far, but just like, maybe like a foot and a half to the left of the deck. And as it does that, all of them stay face down, but one gets flipped face up. When you're just like, I'm sorry, it was either that or I can't read you. One of them gets faced up or flipped face up and is facing you, and you can see your own writing. Your writing. You're the one that wrote on them. On that one, just the blank face, but you can see that your own handwriting of the Hierophant is written on the card.
What does that mean?
Well, the literal picture, or the literal picture you would remember of the Hierophant is a priest.
Are you telling me I need to talk to a priest?
No more response.
Like this. Who is the priest? What the fuck does priest have to do with this? I'm not a priest. I'm not a religious leader. You are not a religious leader. I think you need to stop being so judgmental. And I'm just going to sit and argue with my cards, probably for the rest of the night.
Would Viktoria, though, have like a conceptual idea of like what tarot? I'm a tarot nerd. I'm just like wondering if like Viktoria would actually like have an idea of like what is associated with each card.
She would have kind of like, if she could see the cards, she would have like, oh, this is how they all interact with each other. But not being able to see the card and not being able to see how each element on the card flows with each other is kind of throwing her off.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
She's very much a picture person when it comes to tarot. And now she can't see the pictures. So she's just like, what the fuck? I hate this.
Yeah, okay, so the name kind of lacks meaning for you, but like...
The name lacks meaning, but the pictures of the cards is where the meaning comes for Victoria.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
All right. So that's what Victoria is doing. Tedros, our resident cleric, anything in particular? You're muted.
You're muted.
Definitely. Okay. Anyway, no, Tedros is he's mostly good. He is, however, going to be taking some time to do some tinkering and work on his special project.
Is that the gun?
Mm-hmm.
Is that you're almost done with that, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead and make that tinker roll.
He will be, for whatever time he's working, since he's got the slots for it, he'll be dumping his remaining spell slots for however long he's working into enhance ability, just to make himself smarter so that he's better able to handle all that stuff.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
All right. Lord, I see what you've done for others this session. All right. I'm not them. What is I'm adding
Tinker Tools is intelligence and proficiency.
Fantastic. It's a 15.
That is exactly the DC you needed. It was a 15. And I think if I remember correctly, you were almost there when the wyvern attacked.
Yes.
So Tedros, it's like it's a constant like almost there, a little bit more, almost there, a little bit more, until like you just like fit a last piece into place, put in a screw, realize that everything, like the mechanisms all move, the springs are attached, like everything that needs to be attached is attached. And as you look up out the window in front of you, you can see the moon high in the sky as it is very, very late at night.
And he looks out the window and he nods. And he like he is handling glass. He is like very carefully putting it down on the table and like next to what the holster would be and just gently sliding it into a holster.
Okay.
Just, like he's trying not to touch it almost.
Mm-hmm.
And he just puts the snap on it and puts it like in the middle of the table where it cannot fall. He thinks like he takes it off the table, he puts it under the table, so it's like it can't fall off the table if it's already on the ground. Then he's like, what if I don't remember? He puts it back on the table, and then he's just like goes for a walk like around the just because he's nervous and excited and just doesn't know what to do with his energy right now, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna take a walk. And just walks around for probably like a half hour to calm himself and then goes to sleep.
Okay.
Yep. Very excited boy right now.
Okay.
Would he go into the garden?
I don't think he would go into the garden. He's literally just like doing laps around the outside of the premises. If the garden is visible, he will look at things, but he's not specifically headed in there into the garden.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then that's actually going to bring us to Viktoria, who is, you're sitting there in front of the tree still, right? All right. Do you try to commune with anything or anyone other than the cards while you're there?
Probably at some point during the night. She'll give the cards a break and then try again to be like, are you going to tell me who the priest is? Like, who is the priest? If the priest can hear me, say something, kind of deal. Like very teenage white kids in their dad's basement with the spirit board, the Ouija board. Like, ooh, if anyone's here, spell out your name, kind of deal.
All right. And as you're sitting there, at this, sitting there in the garden, I'm guessing, did you put the cards back in their like deck? They're like little leather deck box you have.
If they don't tell me anything, she will start to put them back in the box and get ready to go back into the house.
Okay. As you put them back in the box, you hear a cracking and tearing sound from directly behind you, almost like coming from the tree.
Puts cards away a little faster.
And then there's just like a sudden just gust of wind followed by like almost the swirling of air, as the tree you're leaning back against seems to no longer be there for you to lean back against. And you can see, as you start to like pitch over backwards, a ringed portal that you are half in, half out, leaning back into.
Is there any noises coming from the portal other than portal noises?
None other than portal noises, no. But you do feel that pulling sensation again, and this time Galina is not there to interrupt.
We had etiquette training today. They're probably going to be fine. Last time I did this, it didn't end up taking too long. So, making sure she has her cards.
Mm-hmm.
Viktoria will let the pulling take her.
And trying to think who would see that. Probably Tedros. You're on your walk, and as you're walking by, you can see Viktoria looking down at her cards and looking up at this portal behind her, which is a very familiar sight to you from the cabin on the mountain. And then she's kind of like looks up, looks at her cards, thinks for a second, and then just kind of pitches backwards through it before it closes. And you can see the bark of the tree has actually been twisted in almost like a spiral pattern, as though someone just like grabbed it at a point and just like twisted it, and is gone.
He immediately runs over to it and he's like checking it and like probably pulls away some of the bark just to see.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, just head in his hands. He's just like, I'm fucking done with today.
Okay. And with that, that's where we're gonna have to end it for the week. Sorry to end a little early, everybody. We're almost at time. Sorry I ended early, a little early, everybody, but we'll be coming back next week. Not all of us, unfortunately, as we will be down both twins for a little while because, if I remember correctly, you are very busy with some important life stuff.
Big move.
Yeah. So Viktoria will be absent, so will Galina. We'll be down both twins. Monty should hopefully be back next week. Hopefully he retains power. If he doesn't, that is a much bigger problem than just for us. So yeah, thank you for joining us again this week, everybody. Next week we'll be finding out what Monty's conversation is with his mom, and then probably starting to get into the high society of Titan's Grave. So thank you for joining us. Come back next week and we will see you all again. Bye-bye.